What'd you take the exhaust off for? Oh, let's take off the
spark plugs easier.
Oh.
Well, I took this side off so that I could patch these holes, but tech was all bent out of shape about it. Don't get me wrong, it should be plugged.
Safety third.
Safety third. And yeah, it just makes it easier to get to the spark plugs. I was doing a compression test on it, so just making sure everything was still okay. No, they're all okay. Nothing to be worried about.
Oh, okay.
They're all pretty much the same. Basically, I got the front end off the truck because after testing the other night, you know, I wanted to make sure that it was still healthy, make sure we didn't burn anything up. All the spark plugs still had the ground straps on them, so that's better than most of the times when we go out.
Still had 3 gears?
Yeah, we still had all the gears in the transmission. I mean, testing was overall a great success. Did some chit-chatting with one of the local guys here that does a lot of the street racing and kind of discussed my times with him from the draggy. And according to him, we've got a pretty competitive truck, so we might end up doing some cash day stuff, who knows. Right now the focus is on LS Fest, so still haven't decided if I'm going to do the radials or the slicks at the track. Thinking the slicks probably.
I mean, if we can slow down that fucking bleed.
Slow down the lead?
The bleed.
Oh yeah.
Got self-bleeder.
We got a slight leak in one of the slicks. Don't know if we picked up something out there or if I bought them used with a leak already in it. But we're probably just gonna plug it. Everybody says plug it, and once you do a burnout with that glue, it basically becomes part of the tire. So we'll try that. Or we just keep checking the air pressure.
Self-regulating.
Yeah, some of you guys in the comments pointed out that the front end was lifting way too fast, which I knew that night, but it was so cold, and with the cops driving by, we weren't going to mess with it too much. We just wanted to get a couple hits to start with. I can adjust the struts, not the struts, the coilovers in the front, slow that down, get that all better. But as is, according to the guy that I was talking to, it's right there. So a little bit of fine tuning, we'll probably have ourselves a hot rod. But right now I'm just kind of going over some of the data. I didn't look at much of it at all that night. I just wanted to go over some of the data logs. And then I'm gonna put this thing, I got my trailer here today, and I bought some D-rings to put in the floor of it, or whatever you want to call it, the deck, to make this thing, because when we were out there with this, loading it up, strapping it down, it wasn't very easy, it wasn't very fun, right? It was kind of awkward because the truck's so narrow and so short that it wasn't that easy. So I got some D-rings we're gonna mount and maybe get to that today. I don't know, we'll see.
Just do a quick shot over the engine for all the guys who are gonna ask how you did something. That's how you do it. Make sure you do it that exact same way, even if it's a different car. Do it that way.
Need to change the way my data log triggers, because most of these is just like the burnout and staging, and then just a bunch of nonsense. How many passes did I make?
Like four, maybe 5.
2. I remember 2 that I went the full 8, and a couple of them I let out. I think there was 4. Now my computer froze. I need a better.
This is why we need sponsors. Anyone listening, please sponsor us. Modelo, Vans, some coloring for his beard, because it's ginger. Anything. Holly, if you want to sponsor us, we need a new computer.
See, in here, freaking air fuel is just perfect. Clear across.
I thought you were about to start going. That's what the nitrous was doing, dog.
This one we made a whopping 6.2 pounds of boost just before I let out. It held steady at about 5.5, 5.6. Pretty conservative timing compared to what I've ran in it before. 18 degrees.
Which you did on purpose, right?
Yeah, I had it. Basically, this is the same tune-up I had in it at LS Fest, just with less boost. So like timing and all that. And that was when I was on race gas, so I didn't have a whole lot of timing in it. And now with the E85, it seems to like. I mean, it probably down in Tucson, I was running probably 6 or 7 degrees more timing than we were this night, and it just kept going faster. So.
But here it probably makes sense to run the soft setup just for testing,
yeah,
and then the street too.
Yeah, plus with the street, because now that we have a baseline, we can play with the timing and ramp in some timing or boost, however to try and do power management. Either ramp in the timing to get down track faster.
Yeah, because your buddy said like 100 feet out, 200 feet, start ramping it in, right?
Start ramping it in. You don't want all your power at the very beginning on the street, or you'll just blow the tires. But the 60 foot that I did that night, he said just leave it there. Don't try and go any faster because you'll just end up spinning. So just leave it there, bring in the power later. So, well, that's that. So throw the spark plugs back in this thing and throw it up on the trailer. Do me a favor, get in there, and I've already pumped the carburetor like 3 times. It's probably flooded, but hold the throttle, push the gas pedal to the floor, and I'll check it. So that's all the way, right?
That's matted.
So, okay, do it again. That's as far as you can push it, right?
That's matted.
Yeah, we don't quite have full throttle.
Probably want that. Probably want the rest of that.
Oh man, dude, that's like another 1/10 of a second right there.
There you go.
Shoot, here I am running on 90% throttle.
You're good. I figure you might want to come forward a little bit more so you don't have to worry about hitting the fender with your foot.
Oh, it's fine. I want the weight even over the axles.
True.
So I think most of the weight's in the front though. And it's pretty even. This will go underneath it, kind of keep it from pulling through the wood. But that will be my template. Make sure there's nothing underneath. It's all open underneath. So basically that will be like right there.
Would you want it that way where it's pulling it like that? Once the D-ring's out, or would you want it the other way so that it's pulling?
Oh, so you're saying like that, where it's pulling on it up?
Or would you rather have it like that, where it's trying to pull it closed?
I think I would rather have it this way, because if I accidentally leave this up and I run over it,
true,
it'll close it. This way, it'll open it and
probably break something. Or not, probably just run over it.
So I think I'd rather have it that way. Is there a right or wrong? I don't know. I'm sure I'm doing it wrong no matter what, according to someone. Let's just drill into my brand new trailer deck. Smack myself in the nuts. Well, put this baby on drill mode and slow her down. Oh.
You charge it?
It's charged. They're just, well, it was charged. It just went down. We need some sponsors. Milwaukee, if you're watching. My 15-year-old drills are dying. One has a green light. But that little thing doesn't work.
Getting the action shot.
Let's take a minute to check our local, or let's take a minute for a word from our local sponsor. Oh wait, we don't have any sponsors.
Here lies a man in defeat, brooding.
Finally.
Only took 2 hours?
Yeah. No shit. It doesn't fit. You know what I didn't check? The relationship of this. Because this isn't a square. I can do that. I can do that. Because it will overhang just a little bit.
Yeah.
Like that. Good thing I double checked that, because I would have gotten that wrong. holes are off a little bit.
Holy shit.
What?
I didn't realize how the holes were not squared at all.
Yeah, they're off a little bit. Get this tight. Just gotta do that 3 more times. All right, well, after many hours, right, of drilling and charging batteries numerous times, we finally got it done. So we got front and rear all done up. Gonna make tying this thing down super easy now. As you can tell, the sun has gone down and it's now dark out here. So we're gonna get this thing unloaded back in the garage and then move on to the rest of the upgrades. All right, guys, it's the next morning. Still got one more thing I want to do on the trailer, but I didn't want to do it in the dark. So here we are. Basically what I need to do is I need to figure out why the trailer brakes aren't working. They never worked. So I don't know if it's my truck or if it's the trailer. So that's what we're gonna try and figure out right now. I didn't really want to be dicking around with this in the dark last night, so we'll try and figure it out right now. I'm sure it's something simple. Let's see here, give him a little tester. The BK indicates brake, so my truck is putting out a signal. So let's put this back in. Now I've already taken this plug apart and checked the layout of the wires, and everything seems to be correct. So now it's just a matter of tracing the wires on the trailer. I wonder if they just leave them unhooked and it's up to the owners to connect them, whether they want brakes or not. I don't know. Hey, the guy sold me the trailer, never said anything, but I also never asked and never tried it until the night we went testing and then realized they weren't working. So whatever, no big deal. Let's see if I can fit under here. Oh, nice. There's still a wooden block stuck to the leaf spring bolts from when it was shipped. That's funny. But anyways, so looking at the wiring here, what? Okay, so it's hooked together. What's going on here? It's kind of hard to see. I can't get all the way up under here. I'm like pinned under here. I might have to go get a jack so that I can actually see. Got that tied in a knot, and this and those are hooked in. So that's all wired up. That goes over to the other axle. So, first glance looks okay over here. But over there I can see, probably can't see from here, but over there I can see 2 wires hanging down that aren't hooked to anything. So I don't know what that is. So let's go over there. Got a layout here in the street. Hopefully I don't get ran over. So these 2 wires right here aren't hooked to anything. I'm thinking that that's the ground and that those need hooked up. Am I right? These have got to be grounds.
and they just never got hooked up. I don't know what's going on here. I'm gonna have to do some schematic looking up on Google to see what the hell. Now that I think about it, I don't think those are grounds, because I think that they just ground through the chassis, like the backing plates, and that's what creates the magnetic pull. Could be wrong. I think those 2 wires are just jumper wires if it had dual axle brakes. So that trailer only has brakes on 1 axle. Those are probably just jumper wires to go to another axle that they just left there. I don't know, I'm gonna have to look this up. It's been a while since I worked on trailer brakes. I know my neighbors hate me. Okay, so what do we got going on here? I don't get why they have all 3 of them hooked together here. Alright, so upon further inspection and investigation, the trailer wiring is correct. That is just 2 jumper wires to go to another axle if I ever add it in the future. I thought they were grounds, but then I started looking at the wiring and how they have it. That's what they are. They're just jumpers. So I started looking deeper, and I think I figured out the problem. It's in my truck. So this is the connector. I noticed that I was getting kind of a intermittent signal here and there. It was kind of flashing and sputtering. So I was checking this, unplugged the connector, and saw all that corrosion. So this one right here is the blue wire, which is the trailer brakes, which coincides with that guy right there. So I think that's my problem. It's kind of one of them things where it's like, man, I used to hear this all the time when I was working on trailers at the dealership. It's like, it's got to be the trailer because my truck worked on another trailer. Well, it just happened to be intermittent, and now it's a problem, and it's usually corrosion like this, especially when, you know, coming from Utah where it used to be in the salt and snow a lot. So I'm gonna have to possibly try and find one of these original plugs and pigtails so that I can rewire this, because I don't really want to. I just want to keep it original. So hopefully I can find one of these and get this thing back together. But for the meantime, all the lights and everything work. I just don't have trailer brakes. I just want to have it fixed before I go to Vegas. So that's the cause of that. All this time I thought it was the trailer, and it was my truck. So that just goes to show, just because it worked on the last trailer doesn't mean it's going to work on the next one. All right, before I go, there is one more thing that I want to do on the S10. In the last video when we were testing, a couple of you guys commented that I need to add some sort of light at the back of the truck to help them line me up so they're not using flashlights and stuff, like an LED light to shine on the ground right behind the rear tire. So I went down to Harbor Freight, picked one up. Let me show it to you guys. Basically what you guys were saying is like a light back here to shine down on the ground. So here we go, right there, boom. Flip that baby on. Hell yeah, that's gonna work awesome. And it's adjustable, so I can put it on the leaf spring. That's probably better right there. Yep, boom. Look at that, hell yeah. All right guys, that does it for me. Thanks for watching. Drop a comment, tell me what you guys like, tell me what you guys want to see, and I'll see you guys on the next one.